fails David Protein? As many of you know, I'm an investor in David Protein. And recently, a company called Consumer Labs came out that they failed David Protein. I think it is really important to point out why the bars failed. What makes David Protein bars unique is a component called EPG, which stands for esterified propoxylated glycerin. Most fats that we consume in our diets are in the form of what's called triacylglycerides. So the way it works is you take the glycerol molecule and add propylene glycol units to it. Then you attach the fatty acid tails. So now you have the esterified propoxylated glycol with the fats on it. Now, why would they put EPG in a product? Well, EPG makes these fats not digestible, or very, very little digestible. It takes the caloric content of fats from about 9 calories per gram to like 0.7 calories per gram. It is simply not digestible. So it just kind of passes through you. Now, people have already come out and been like, this is like Olestra, it's going to cause anal leakage. That is not the case. The reason that Olestra was so problematic is Olestra was solid at room temperature, but liquid at body temperature. EPG is stable at both. So it is solid at room temperature and solid at body temperature. So why did this bar fail the Consumer Labs test if it says it only has 1.5 grams of fat or 2 grams of fat or 2.5 grams of fat in the bars? Because the Consumer Labs test found that they had over 20 grams of fat in the bars. Well, you have to understand the way that fats are assessed in food typically involves hydrolysis and then solvent extraction. And when you do hydrolysis, what you do is you take that EPG molecule off, you take the fats and you take those off, and now you have the same amount of fat. I am not surprised that the bars failed that test of having high fat content, because unless you use a very, very specific test, and I'm not even sure what test it would be, to be quite honest with you, they're going to come up as fat on these tests. Now, the other thing that happened was they came out with a lower protein content than what was on the label. I think Consumer Labs tested them at 23 grams. The label says 28. So these were an early batch of bars, and that has since been corrected. And now every single batch is tested to ensure that they have at least 28 grams of protein in them. I'm very confident that these bars are living up to what is on the label. I'm hoping the many of you guys who have followed me for a really long time, you would know I do not put my name behind stuff that I do not believe in. And again, I clearly explained why these bars failed the Consumer Labs tests. All right, guys, catch you later.